Welcome back, guys. Thank you for your time today. I am right now showcasing YG Acoustics. I've heard a lot about your brand. As a matter of fact, I got a couple of friends who own your speaker and they're extremely satisfied with it. I have not had the pleasure of owning any of your models, but I will start off by saying, and I told him earlier, I personally love the silver finish over the black finish.
So do I.
Now, pictures do not do justice, okay? I just shared that with them. The pictures you see online do not do any justice to what this speaker looks like and feels like in real life, okay? You have to be in front of it to appreciate the beautiful finish. I find black to understate the speaker too much.
Yes.
It almost feels like it hides it.
I think it gives you a clue that if you look at all of our demo stuff, it's all in silver. So we agree.
Yes. Yeah, no, absolutely. So one of the biggest things that I saw yesterday was the conversation that I had. You want to come
Sure.
inside the camera?
Yeah.
We talked about the new live series of YG loudspeakers, right? Tell us a little more about what this is about.
Live is really trying to address. If you look at high-end audio, there's so many people who love this idea of having like 100 different components, and you change your amplifier, you change this component, you change the cable, and yeah, I'm one of them as well. There are people who don't. There are people who love the sound, but they just want to buy something, set it up, and they're done. And they want it to be simple. They want it to fit in whatever house they have, whatever room, and live is all about that. Live kind of started to be about that.
Okay.
It's become a little bit more complex when we worked out what it sounded like.
Mm-hmm.
What we do, you have one controller box, you can put it anywhere. You have these thin glass optic fiber cables. They're very, very thin. They
Okay.
can be kilometers long. You can put them anywhere in your house. You have these speakers. All you do is you plug them in, and you run the optic fiber cable in, and it sounds amazing.
Wow.
And that's what confused us, because it actually ended up sounding really good.
Wow.
It sounded better than systems made up of individual components that maybe cost 2 or 3 times more. And that becomes the problem, because while I love having 100 components, I have these in my house. So it's the sound quality is something else. At the bottom of this, you have 5.6 kilowatts of amplifier.
So right here, as far as I know, there's a tray here, right, where all the amplification hides. And I understand, by the way, that each driver is individually powered.
Yeah.
So they have independent amplification for each driver, which I really love the idea, guys. How much power do they have?
Each one of these 5.6 kilowatts per
Wow.
unit. So it's
Wow.
over 10 kilowatts as a pair.
Wow, that's a lot of insane. And Class D amplification, of
It's all
course,
Class
because
D.
of the efficiency,
Yeah, so
heat
it's
dissipation.
efficient and cool, and it sounds amazing.
One question I had for you, Duncan, yesterday was if someone would need to buy separate subs for this, and I believe you said no need for that because this already has it built in and it has its built-in amplification.
Yes, and they're not just good, they're incredible. Flat to 18 hertz.
18 hertz. Okay.
You can add a sub if you want, but we haven't had anyone who wants yet.
I figured that. And obviously Class D is so fast sounding, it's got
Yeah.
speed, it's got this control over the woofers unlike anything else. I mean, as a matter of fact, most of the car stereo enthusiasts use Class D because of that, right? I'll give you a name, JL Audio, Class D amplifiers for a long time to drive their subs, so we know the efficiency when it comes to that. Now, this is the XX3 Live, correct?
Yes.
Okay, what is the MSRP of this unit
This is
currently?
$245,000.
Okay, and clearly, remember, $245,000, okay? And you do not need amplification. So that saves you the money that you have right now laying on the floor, sitting on the floor, okay? And I love the simplicity, knowing that by the way, you need no speaker cables either. That's another thing, no speaker cables. You're not gonna see those nasty wires all over the place, okay? And to me, that's extremely beneficial. Not to mention, I have to say this, gut feeling that I feel most brands are gonna be headed in this direction, okay? More people are wanting prettier stuff with less clutter, less boxes, and unfortunately some brands are out there selling 6 chassis of a preamplifier, 6 chassis for the DAC, 6 power cords that you have to buy, 6 interconnects. I think that's gonna come to an end. I think eventually we're just gonna have something simplistic like this that is basically plug and play. I love that idea, by the way, and I like the fact that you're embarking on this. I did see other brands that do the same thing, but I'm starting to see this being more the normal. You know, and to me, just having everything integrated into one is so attractive, so attractive. Now, you do have a passive version of this, I'm assuming?
Yes, there's a passive version as well. And I think for us, the live version lets us control every last little bit, but the passive version means you can have almost the same sound quality and you can choose every other bit and piece that you have around it that fit into your system.
Which is the only downfall, Duncan, that I was mentioning to you, is those of you who want to tailor your sound and want to, you know, change the tubes and then want to change the presentation, those of you audiophiles like myself, unfortunately, that want to change often, you're not going to have that flexibility once you buy the one that has built-in amplification. But the point is that you buy a speaker with built-in amplification so that you're done. The tinkering is over. You don't want to do that anymore. You're not going to embark on this. You want something that just works perfectly. And clearly the amplification they have selected is specifically tuned for these drivers. So there's no mismatch. You're not going to worry about whether the amp has enough power, it doesn't have enough power, you know, damping factor. You're not going to worry about any of that. It works. And I love knowing that all I need to do is buy a source. All right, and a preamplifier of some sort, and basically that's about it, right?
You don't actually.
The control box does all of that.
Okay.
It's a room-ready endpoint. It has analog and digital.
So you,
it even has a
so you mean
really
to tell
great
me all you
phono.
need is 2 speakers,
Yeah.
1 box, and the optical wires running.
And that's it.
You
That's
can
it.
bring a turntable to the mix too. It's
I'm-
got a phono section.
Think about that. Let's go over to that side of the room with the Ascent loudspeaker. Follow us real quick. I want you guys to see. I had an opportunity yesterday to listen to this speaker, and which one was this one? This one?
This one.
This is the Ascent.
Okay, right here, guys. This speaker yesterday. This speaker blew my mind. What's the MSRP on this? 23 or 19?
19.8.
19.8. They had it here, and my first comment was, if you watch my videos, hopefully you are subscribing, liking the button, hitting the like button. You saw my comment, you heard me. There is no way that speaker is filling this room. It's not hiding, it's not afraid of the room, it doesn't care that it's massive. I feel like the speakers that need to be here are my gigantic Wilson audio speakers because the room is so big. Yet this speaker just spread its wings, did its thing. It was big, it had a beautiful personality. Now granted, it's not just the speakers, it is a system at the end of the day. So we have to give credit to the German brand Burmeister here. So they are known to be musical, smooth, never fatiguing. So I do like that pairing. How did you come up with this concept for $19,000? Because there's so much performance here.
This was, we'd wanted for such a long time to come up with a range at a more affordable price point. And we put a huge amount of computational modeling and just know-how into trying to come up with this. It's a dense resin fiber cabinet. We've done so much to eliminate the resonances, so it's almost as good as a solid aluminium cabinet.
Okay.
The whole faceplate is solid 1.5 inch thick aluminium. The faceplate shape, it looks really simple when you look at it. It's a super complex shape, especially around the tweeter, to give this huge soundstage, this ability to fill the largest of rooms. And again, it's the same expertise that we have over there, the crossover and our modeling and our understanding of the way all the speaker parts interact with each other. The other thing is we make our own drivers.
Right.
It shares the same drivers as if you buy a $350,000 speaker over there, it has the same drive units in as you have on this.
Got it.
These cones are milled out of a solid block of aluminium. We get a billet of aluminium and we get rid of 99.9% of it. That's all recycled.
Wow.
And what's left is just this perfect cone. And because if you press a cone, you put stresses into the structure. Because we mill it, it's subtractive. It's a perfect piece of aluminium. The way it behaves, it's way ahead of anything else that can be achieved.
What's the sensitivity of the speaker?
These are about 89 dB, so it's good. You can, I mean, it's not something that you want to drive with a 1 watt.
Of course,
valve
tube amplifier, yeah, I get
But
it.
it's.
But more average amplification today is 200 watts per channel.
Yeah.
I mean, we could say that, and I think 200 watts should be plenty to drive these
Absolutely.
speakers.
And we have lots of, we have folks enjoying exactly these models with 40 watt class A. It sounds amazing.
What's the frequency response? Because I was hearing some nice low registers yesterday out of the speaker. I was looking for subwoofers in the corner.
It's down to usable ranges. At the top end, it's about 40 kilohertz, and at the lower end, it's about 28, 26.
But let me tell you, the in-room response is something else, because I heard bass out of these things. I'm telling you, I was looking under the chairs, looking for subwoofers, because I couldn't believe it. Now, this is a sample of the driver, right? Technology.
Yeah.
Maybe you can walk us through this.
So this thing starts as a cylinder of aluminium, which is about a centimeter wider on each side. We mill the whole thing out. It's a whole bunch of processes where we build this. This has the braces that damp the resonances in the cone, but in between these, it's super thin. And then we mill out the second side to this shape. Every part of this is optimized. We do tons of simulations with cloud computing to make this. They have higher breakup modes than almost any drive unit. Even the bass drive units, you can pretty much use them as full range drivers.
Wow.
They're linear and well behaved, well out to 2,000, 3,000 hertz. What that means is that when you put a bass transient in, if there's a sudden bass movement, because the cone is stable to such a high frequency, it can communicate that transient with complete slam. If you listen to anything EDM tracks with really hard synthesized bass, the timing on these is incredible.
Got it. Are these currently shipping?
Yeah, these are currently shipping. Everything on this side has been available for the last
And
year.
the Live series, when is that shipping? The active speakers?
The Vantage Live has been available for 2 years. That's the introductory speaker in the Live range, and that's at I think the MSRP is what, 60,000. The last year we introduced the Sonya Live, which is in between that and the XX, and this is the world debut of the XX Live. So that's shipping from now.
Okay, guys, well, there you have it. I had an opportunity to highlight YG Acoustics. I have never given you guys flowers and highlighted you, but I always come back around. It's a matter of time when I hear something that really impresses me. I have to make a video. I told you yesterday I was impressed with the small speakers, and mind you, what put me here are the small $19,800 speakers. Not to mention, just imagine what these big boys can do. So I'm very surprised, very shocked at how great these speakers sound. Check them out when you have a moment at your local dealer. Okay, they are shipping now. Thank you for your support. Take care for now. Peace. Bye-bye.